like manipulate the atoms and the photons with this cracker. Jeez. Now watch as I partially digest it in my mouth.
The next stop serves things quick, man. Touching my brain.
I was born today, and I'll tell you how.
I want to get to San Francisco.
Clouds above opened up and let it out. I was standing on the surface of a perforated sphere when the water filled every hole, and thousands upon thousands made an ocean, making islands where no island should go.
Want to be out of control, and we respond very rationally. Well, you don't want to be out of control. Keeping it illegal, prohibition makes you out of control, you know? I mean, prohibition pretends to be the ultimate form of regulation, when in fact prohibition represents the abdication of regulation.
What we've seen with marijuana is exactly the same thing that we saw with alcohol prohibition. The trade has been put into the hands of criminals and cartels. It has not done anything to reduce the availability of marijuana and has made it more available for children in unregulated markets. High school students repeatedly report that marijuana is easier to obtain than alcohol because no high school drug dealer asks for IDs.
The United States has 5% of the world's population and 25% of the world's prison population. 56% of those incarcerated are there for non-violent drug crimes.
In fact, more than half of all drug arrests in America are for marijuana only. Of those, more than 88% are for possession.
Just last week, the special prosecutor for narcotics in New York City admitted that we cannot arrest our way out of the drug problem.
Well, people don't use drugs. Or at least we think we don't use drugs. Maybe we drink a little wine, we put our kid on Ritalin, our wife's on Prozac, getting all of that, right? But we don't see ourselves as drug users. Is Viagra medicine? Guess it all depends where you're standing.
It's not on the Sonic, it's on hate. And you go back this way.
However, the vast majority of medical marijuana patients in states where it's legal use a method called vaporization. They use a vaporizer. It's something that heats the marijuana at a degree below the point of combustion. You literally inhale marijuana vapor as opposed to marijuana smoke, which has little to no negative side effects.
Damn, dude, that might be the ship.
DEA's administrative law judge, his name was Francis Young, in his ruling declared, and this is a direct quote, that marijuana is the safest therapeutically active substance known to man.
We know what the government says, but what does the science say? What we're finding out now is that rather than just symptomatic relief, cannabinoids can actually slow down the progression of some of these very serious diseases like MS, like Parkinson's disease, like Alzheimer's, and like Lou Gehrig's disease. It leaves the healthy cells alone, it attacks the malignant cells and kills them. That's something standard chemotherapy doesn't do. That's why people get very sick when they're given chemotherapy. This chemotherapy isn't selective. It attacks the cancerous cells, it attacks the healthy cells. And people get very, very ill when that happens. So the idea of having an agent that can selectively go after tumor cells while leaving healthy cells alone, there again is fairly groundbreaking, and I'm somewhat offended by the fact that our government is not either encouraging this sort of research, funding this research, even acknowledging it exists.
That's right. I am a chronic street peer.
What do you think, Doug? It's sad, really. Behold yon convenience stores.
What's also known as the molecular mechanism that shows why cannabinoids inhibit the production, the formation of Alzheimer's disease. Aside from the neuroprotective effects, the actual organic problem that arises can be blocked by cannabinoids. Reagan, if he said, just say no, K-N-O-W, he might have died knowing his name, or his wife, or anyone else.
Once again, we're talking about this idea of memory and the fact that for years the federal government has told you that smoking marijuana kills your brain cells, smoking marijuana kills your memory. Now they're talking about it actually delaying the onset of Alzheimer's disease. I find the irony quite remarkable, if once again somewhat quite offensive.
The real dangerous drugs in this century, namely alcohol, for instance.
That there's at least every year 20,000 deaths attributed to alcohol poisoning.
Today, marijuana remains illegal in the United States despite having caused no overdose deaths in the history of mankind, and despite being no more harmful than legal and regulated alcohol and tobacco.
What do you think? If you're not outraged by what's going on, you are primitive.